Good afternoon. You will now watch the recording of the radio commentary made last night and published this Thursday morning, October 16th, by 200 radio stations. Remember to subscribe and leave a like or dislike at the end. Let's get to the commentary. Good morning. It seems the Magnitsky Law is having some effect on Minister Morais. You may remember that Klesau, while ill, his defense repeatedly requested treatment, medication, and home treatment, and he ended up dying without receiving treatment. Now, Alexandre Aparecida da Silva, arrested on January 8, later went home wearing an ankle monitor, but she failed to comply. Then she was arrested in Varginha. Apparently, she didn't even prove she had breast lumps and depression, but her defense claimed this, and she's already going home to Paraguaçu, Minas Gerais. She'll be released from Varginha prison by Minister Morais's decision, right? I imagine this woman is coming to Brasilia to participate in a demonstration. She didn't come to stage a coup, to overthrow the president, to put someone in his place. Well, she came to express her discontent and became a coup plotter, right, as the domesticated media calls it. And she's going home now. January 8, it's been 2 years and 9 months, most of which she spent behind bars, and now she's going home. All this must have caused the depression and the lumps in her breast, right? This is irreversible. People, the post office, what a shame. The post office is asking the banks for 20 billion. Reais. To get out of the crisis. It won't do any good, because it's a vicious cycle. The Workers' Party's solution for state-owned companies is this: it's wasting money. Profit during the time of President Floriano Peixoto, the president of the post office, General Floriano Peixoto, not President Marechal Floriano, right? My God, I went there several times to see how the post office works, making a profit. It was a company that operated there with everything controlled and monitored, with no waste, efficiency, productivity, and an exuberant delivery role, handling correspondence and goods. Lula's administration came in, and it started making losses. And last year's losses are already much higher, much lower than the losses from the first half of this year. The first half of this year is already at 4.36 billion. It'll end the year with a loss of 10 billion. It made a loss last year, the year before, right? Poor postal workers, always paying the bills, the mail carriers, right? They're talking about voluntary layoffs because they don't even have the money to fire, right? Oh, my God, right? They say they're offering the banks a guarantee from the National Treasury. It's worth remembering that public debt is around 78% of GDP. They're calculating it differently. Well, I've been saying here that the Parliamentary Commission of Inquiry, CPMI, in the Senate is licking the hot soup around the edges, right? They want to shield everyone, but it's catching on. The Supreme Court rapporteur for this inquiry, Justice Andre Mendonca, has already blocked 390 million people from SINDNAP, the National Union of Retirees and Pensioners, whose vice is Lula's brother, who's not mentioned there, right? Fry Chico, it's a request from the federal police, right? It includes President Milton Batista de Souza Filho, a husband of the former president who died in 2023, João Batista in Inocentine, right? Well, so it's starting to get close, right, to paying. And finally, I wanted to mention an accident where a truck crashed into the back of another in a traffic jam in Curitiba. And the child, the driver's daughter, was in the seat next to it. The driver wasn't injured, it was just like that, but the child was probably not wearing a seatbelt. The 6-year-old died, right? Go on, with his head hitting the dashboard, right? The rescuers cried with emotion. Hey! Dad must be desperate. I'm telling you this so we never forget to fasten our seatbelts. From Brasilia, Alexandre Garcia.